Welcome back to my chess journey. I am trying to study with stockfish, trying to do stockfish type moves for the most part. I am sticking with one set of moves for white, but then black is where I really do the stockfish type moves with. I also do puzzles every day, and the games that I do play in the middle of the day, and I make the videos in the evenings because that's when I have time to do the evenings. If I did try to play in the evenings, like right now, it's like midnight, I would have a hard time concentrating, and I just don't want to mess up so much. I want to play good quality moves. And I apologize for all the edits that I make. It's because I am not a very good speaker and I say and ah a lot, and I just try to edit that out because no one wants to hear me say that a million times. Anyhow, with that, let's get into the games. This first game that I played, I got white, and I started off with my normal move, and they played the England Gambit against me. Actually, texted them uh, after the first couple moves. He was wondering, like, why is it taking so long for me to make a move? I think it was this move they asked. It was because I don't really remember the theory behind it, and I was just trying to think of a good way to approach this. I do know that like the current setup that I just did, or there's some theory behind it, but I don't think I played it correctly because he could have just won a pawn right here. Anyhow, um, I just try and set it up the way I thought he would try and go for. And instead of putting the knight up here, like the theory says, I thought, well, let's maybe move the knight over here because I had some ideas that I wanted to try out. And and I just wanted to see if it would play out that way. And so I gave it a try. And I am going to try and see how often or how long I can get away with these particular moves. But anyways, I tried that move. He moved his pawn up, which is kind of a normal thing to do in the England Gambit. Um, but in this case, it was an error because he blocked in his queen, and I knew as soon as he did that that it was really good for me. And so I just try to attack his queen as much as I can. So I just started doing that, attack, attack, and and then right here I just bring out the bishop, and yeah, there's no safe squares for him. So he moved, and I just recaptured with or captured him with the bishop, and that was the game. He resigned right there. So I was pretty happy with that. But it was a really quick game. So let's get into the next game. This game I used a lot more stockfish theory with, but most of the time people don't usually take, and I did not remember what to do in the like when they take, I recapture, and then what my next move would be. So I just thought, hey, just bring out the bishop, and he did the same. And I thought about this for a second, and I knew we would trade queens. I would have stacked pawns here, 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 and here. And I thought, well, I think I can still beat him, um, even with ugly pawn structure. So I thought, hey, let's have a little fun. So he recaptured. I forced the trade, and he traded there, and that's exactly how it played out. Um, so I just try and get my pieces in good positions, get my rooks connected, um, and try and get my rooks really active and start pushing pawns. And then I made this move knowing that he would probably push his pawn up to weaken it. So I just wanted to try and weaken his structure. But yeah, I didn't think about the possibility of him attacking my bishop right away. But doing the puzzles, it made me think, if I take here, he takes here, I can grab that knight and be up a pawn. So it seemed like it was a good trade for me. So that's what I did. And it was a great move. And captured his knight. And um, rather than doubling up my rooks here, I wanted to threaten taking the pawn and to ensure that I got this file. But I would have gotten it anyway. I just kind of did a long way about it. So I moved my rook over there. He did that. I captured. But then here, uh, that whole D file is mine. Don't really have to fight for it. If he comes here, he gets a back rake checkmate. And I was just hoping he would move his rook somewhere off where I could just attack, but he brought out his pawn, so no back rank for me today. So just attacked his pawn, making sure that his rook wouldn't be able to move, and then wanted to push a couple pawns. And I wanted to get my rook around and start attacking on this side so I can promote. So, and he immediately attacked my pawn, this pawn, so I needed to defend it. And we just kind of do some pawn pushing, and I was able to capture a pawn. Yeah, uh, this move would have allowed me to not only attack this pawn, but also allow me to push a pawn too. So it'd give me extra time. Anyways, he's attacking my pawns on this side and getting ready to promote. But I was hoping I could get my pawns down to the end before he could. And I thought this was going to be like a brilliant move because if he would take with his rook, I would promote to a queen. And but instead it was just a mistake. But oh well, live and learn, right? So I just gave up on that one pawn so I could try and snatch up some of his pawns. And when I recaptured this pawn, it was because I did not want him to have like two connected pawns that could march down the board. Um, it would make it a lot harder for me to attack and win. So I tried to keep the pawn split. And now I was able to take over the H file. He should have moved his rook over to protect the pawn to allow it to march down. And because otherwise I would have to reroute um, uh, this rook. I would probably have to go up here and then over, down, and to attack. And I might not be able to make it in time before he promoted. So he should have taken that H file before I did. but I was happy to take it. And then here I just let him waste time trying to promote, and I'll just keep my rook there, and then I'm going to try and march my pawns down myself and promote hopefully before he can. And so that's what I try and do. But um, so once when he promotes, then I just take uh, to sacrifice the rook, um, because it's going to be really hard, if not impossible, for him to prevent me from promoting. And actually, I think it is impossible. So that's what I do. I just bring that up. I want to deliver as many checks as I possibly can, um, while also trying to promote. And I thought that this would be a great move, um, just just because I could make a new queen, and this should be an easy endgame for me to win. Um, I have a queen, he doesn't. Um, he won't ever be able to promote that pawn, and I'll deliver a lot of checks to him. So uh, uh, I didn't do a perfect job in the whole mating sequence. I could have had mate in one, but I just missed it, and I was just trying to keep the kings like next to each other, so that he wouldn't be able to get around. But I missed mate one, and he just resigned. So I guess that's that game. My ELO is climbing up. Stay tuned. Check out my other videos about how to play against E4, how Stockfish does it. I'll have more videos how to play like Stockfish. So keep in tune, and please do me a favor and hit subscribe. It would mean the world to me. All right. Thank you. Have a great night. Take care.